Now, the Volta Regional Health Directorate of the Ghana Health Service says it is putting in place measures to avert the recurrence of the deaths resulting from the food poisoning in Akakbo Kope. 6 people have so far been confirmed dead after they ate the popular delicacy akle made from maize flour. Join News' Maxwell Agbagba, who is currently stationed in the village near Sogakope, reports the whole town is still in mourning, with most women weeping and wailing as they demand justice for the perpetrators of the insensitive act. Let's join him live from the community with the latest. Maxwell, what can you report?
Wailing right now. It's a working day, but they've not gone to the farms. A lot of them do not even have the energy to go to the farms. I mean, the kids here are supposed to be in school, but they are not in school today because they are all mourning the 6 people who died here in this community. Now, this man you're seeing behind me, he lost his wife and then 2 other children. He's the husband of the woman who bought the corn flour from the corn mill operator. His wife is dead right now, and his 2 children also are also dead right now. Let me try and see if we can still get some words from him. Baba now is here. Okay, his name is Tei Maunyo. Alekina kusanyai.
La kosombo kofaji. Nicho December kumava.
Okay. She said. Well, he says he stays at Akosombo, and last December was the last time she visited this place. She visited her child, her 2 children, and then wife at this place. Last December, last time I saw.
Time of December 7th.
Okay. That's December, Nani? December?
No, no be December.
What, November?
November 7th.
But I want to know the last time you visited them.
Yeah, the last time we visited is December 7th.
That was the last time you visited them?
Yeah.
And what did you tell them when you visited?
Yo, Friday morning. Yeah, Stranya Yomba Vigno school.
Okay. He says on Friday morning, his wife called him and informed him that their 2 children, they went to school, but they came back sick and they've been vomiting.
Says
his wife's name is Enyo. She says when he was told that the children are vomiting, he asked his wife to get some medicine.
Sad scenes there from Akakbo Kope, near Sogakope in the Volta region, there where our colleague Maxwell Agbagba is standing by there with the husband of one of the women who lost her life as a result of this infected condo. Now, this actually started sometime last week. As you heard, Mawen Yote there talking about how his children fell sick on Friday because what happened was a corn mill operator. These people often live on the residue of the corn that they mill from different people. So they'll mill corn for different groups of people, and the residue becomes a mixture of different people's condo, and that's what they often live on. So word we have from the Food and Drugs Authority is that they initially chanced upon a family which was eating aklen or banku and soup, and some persons there fell ill. Some persons in that family fell ill. They realized that the corn mill operator himself also had fallen ill as a result of eating the same infected condo, and as a result of that they were rushed to the Sogakope hospital. Initially 4 people had died. That number has risen to 6, and we are still monitoring the situation to find out exactly what authorities are doing to curtail the spread of this disease. Now, the Minister of the Interior, Ambrose Derry, has jumped to the defense of the Akufo-Addo administration following criticism by security analysts over government's decision to bring on board the military as a stopgap measure to fight crime and restore stability following series of armed robbery cases in the capital and parts of the country. We'll be telling you more about this story very shortly. But let's go back to Akakpo Kofe, where Maxwell is standing by.
Aye.
He says he got a call on Saturday at 9 o'clock a.m. that his wife has passed, away. That's Comfort Aye.
Comfort Aye.
Okay.
Comfort Aye.
So, okay, near Baba now, we know it's a difficult time, so we don't want to talk. What Magavon, Baba now. We know you are not
in charge. No,
yeah, we know it's a difficult time for you. We don't want you to continue talking, okay? You have our condolence, okay? We say rest in peace to all of them. Take heart.
Hey, people help me.
Take heart. No, don't fall. No, wait.
People help me. No, help me.
Can somebody wait? No, wait. No, wait.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so this is the situation we have here at Akakpo Kope. It's all wailing here in this community. Well, now I have a photograph of the two girls. We are told. So this, the man you just saw behind me, these are his two children, his two daughters. Their family actually bought the corn flour, the corn mill operator. So these are the two children. They are dead now. And then, okay, so this is this woman, I'm told, is the grandmother, and then this is the mother of the two children. She also died, so three of them dead, plus the family of the corn mill operator, the wife of the corn mill operator, and then his two children, all making six. Another man, the corn mill operator himself, we are told, is currently at the Sugakope District Hospital. Another girl who also ate the food, she is fine right now, and we're told she's at the Sugakope District Hospital. Now, we'll be interacting with a lot more people in this community, and we're bringing you more details here.
Emotional scenes there at Akakpo Kope in the Volta region, where my colleague Maxwell Agbagba is standing by. We'll go back to Maxwell for more details, more revelations, more stories about the persons who have passed away later on in the day. But in a related matter of food and food safety, the Public Relations Officer of the Food and Drugs Authority, FDA, James Latte, says his outfit is supervising the recall of a packaged meat product which is labeled with 15th March as manufacturing dates. Now, that cannot be possible. Today is the 5th of March. Mr. Latte says the FDA's attention was drawn to the issue and action has immediately been taken about it. Pictures of the packaged meats with the manufacturing date have been circulating on social media, causing public concern. But speaking on Joy 99.7 FM Super Morning Show, he added his outfit is considering the incident as an error on the production line.
In actual fact, the FDA got to know about this particular issue, let me say about a week or two ago. Now, what we did was that we dispatched officers to the factory where the product was manufactured, and they did an investigation. Now, I spoke to our officer who led the team. I spoke to her just yesterday evening on this. And she established that when the place was visited, they questioned why a product has a manufacturing date that is not even up. I'm talking about the date is ahead, the future date at the manufacturing date. And apparently the explanation the people gave was that it was a mistake. They have scheduled, let me say, today is on the 5th. They do manufacturing on the 5th. After a week, let's say 12, they do another manufacturing. After another week, 19, they do another manufacturing. So they have the labelings and things there for those future manufacturings. You understand? And it looks like with the labeling, they use some of those labelings in a new one. So immediately, they were directed to recall all the products from the market, which we started supervising. So from the information I had yesterday, they had quite a number retrieved. There's a possibility that that same defect product is on the market. I've spoken to our officer about it. That we need to get back to the market to make sure that the people withdraw all the rest from the market. It's a manufacturing defect.
How many have been recalled?
I don't know the quantity.
How many were put out on the market initially?
I don't have the number.
James Lati, the PRO of the Food and Drugs Authority. Now, families of the two children found dead in a taxi parked on the compound of Ben Oxford Academy in Petoi in the Volta region are calling for justice. The children aged 4 and 6, according to residents, were allegedly murdered for rituals. They are appealing to the Ghana Police Service and government to thoroughly investigate the incident and duly prosecute persons found culpable. Joy News' Volta region correspondent Fred Kwame Asare filed the following report.
Residents in Petoi in the Agochimez-Yope district were thrown into a state of shock and grief after two pupils of the Ben Oxford Academy were found dead in the evening of Thursday, 22nd February 2018. The lifeless bodies of Collins Ahobo and Goodluck Wayo, aged 4 and 6 respectively, were found squeezed in between the front and rear seats of an abandoned taxi parked in the school premises. Collins, who met his untimely death on his birthday, had blood stains on his face and a wound on the left shoulder, while a foamy substance was seen oozing out of Goodluck's mouth. According to relatives, the children were not found in a taxi during an earlier search in the late afternoon of Thursday, when news broke that the children were missing. Families of the deceased are therefore of the strong conviction that their children were kidnapped and kept in this uncompleted building and later dumped in the taxi parked in front of the building after they were killed.
It was around 9 to 9:30 thereabout, and we just heard a shout and a wailing at the compound side. So the whole town rushed to that direction, and I was called. I'm also making a rounds with my brother with tricycle in the town, just trying to get these two handsome guys. So we heard the news. We all rushed there, hoping that we will get our children alive. But suddenly we got there. People were crying, wailing that they've killed our children. In fact, it was not very easy that day. It left with some small time that I killed myself.
The Kuno of Petoi traditional area, Nenenwo Keteku, alleged the incident might be a ritual murder and appealed to the police to fish out the culprits to make the community safe for residents. The owner of the school was seen making a sacrifice on the campus. He was summoned and the chiefs punished and fined him a ram and its accompanying drinks. This has never happened before. Big Ben only performed a prayer ritual when he was caught, so we would be very surprised if the children should turn out to be his sacrificial lambs. This is the second time he, Big Ben, has been involved in such ritual situations, and if care is not taken, it might soon start to run a serial killing syndicate. I am appealing to the police to do their investigations and arrest anybody found culpable of committing such an abominable act. Wife of the owner of Ben Oxford Academy, Grace Amuzu, who was disturbed such an incident occurred in her immediate environment, could not understand why residents would be fingering his husband to have masterminded the killing of the children.
The children were bare-chested when we found them. I immediately shouted for help. As a mother, I am feeling so much pain. I couldn't eat since the incident occurred. I only drink water. I am saddened by the death of these young ones. My husband established 2 schools in this community.
Let's stay with matters having to do with security, because the Minister of the Interior, Ambrose Derry, has jumped to the defense of the Akufo-Addo administration following criticism by security analysts over government's decision to bring on board the military as a stopgap measure to fight crime and restore stability following series of armed robbery cases in the capital and other parts of the country. Comparing happenings in neighboring Burkina Faso, where gunmen launched twin attacks in the capital of Ouagadougou last week, Mr. Derry said the country is safer, promising to equip the police service to efficiently fight crime.
Mr. Vice President called and we decided that we had to enhance Operation Calm Life within the two metropolis. And since then, you've seen the result. We've been able to pick suspects in respect of the motor company robbery. And of course, we picked yesterday a suspect in respect of the killing of the Lebanese. I want to assure you that I've always said that I have great confidence in the Ghana Police Service. Look, their reactive capacity is huge. With Mr. President's program to equip them, we believe that when we do so, they will live up to expectation, and this country will be a safer place for all of us. In the past few days, I'm happy that taxi drivers and all have come together, and the information flowing.
Is that something to encourage the taxi drivers, hitting suspected criminals with their taxis?
I encourage collaboration between the citizenry and the police, and to keep it within the law. That's what I encourage.
The last time I spoke with you, you mentioned that the police, and for that matter, the administration is in charge of the country's security. You receive a lot of bashing on social media. Are you really in charge?
Well, I told you we're in charge. And I believe that what has happened since shows that we have not lost control. What I couldn't tell you then was why I was confident we were in charge. If I divulged at that stage strategies put in place to pin these people down, the criminals would have gotten away. What I wanted to assure is that, regrettable as the results were, the country's security was not out of control. The police and the soldiers in the Operation Calm Life have shown that we haven't lost total control. Look what happened in our neighbors in Burkina Faso yesterday. But I'm saying that we hadn't lost control of the situation.
Still watching Joy News today with me, Daniel Daze. Stories gone by so far. We've taken you to Akakpo, where my colleague Maxwell Agbagba has visited the place after the death of some 6 people who ate some poisonous banku. Now, the health directorate in that part of the country are saying that they are putting in measures to ensure that this is not repeated. Now, still up ahead, a Nigerian Senate is urging strong ties between government of Ghana and Nigeria to enhance job creation for the teeming unemployed youth as Ghana prepares to mark its 61st independence anniversary. And as part of our Ghana Month series on Joy News Agenda, we bring you excerpts of our latest Hotline documentary on living the high life, which airs later this evening on your most authoritative and credible news source. We'll take these important messages. Stay with us. Thanks for staying with us. Now, President of the Nigerian Senate, Dr. Olubukola Saraki, has observed the time has come for the African continent to reset the button on how the world engages Africa. Whilst commending moves by governments to build a Ghana beyond aid, the Senate's president also called for a more close ties between the two countries to create opportunities for the teeming unemployed youth. Dr. Saraki is in the country to attend the 61st Independence Anniversary ceremony, which comes off tomorrow, Tuesday.
St. Petersburg in Russia, and we were together, and the few moments we spent together, we struck an accord on the passion in trying to reset the button on how the world engages Africa. And he did promise then that he would invite, and it's my great pleasure to be part of the celebration of 25 years of uninterrupted democracy. Again, let me congratulate you and congratulate your government for that. Let me also use the opportunity to congratulate your government for just over a year on some of the milestone achievements you made, and I commend you on the people-oriented programs. Some of that, of course, as you know, the world is such a global village now that some of these good things that you're doing, we're reading about it. I commend you to do. So we're here to be part of this celebration and use that opportunity also to strengthen the relationship between our two countries. Mr. Vice President, Your Excellency, for us, Ghana and Nigeria, the relationship goes back many years, and I believe that is our responsibility as government to sustain that special relationship, that always oversee any go over any government in present or past, because our people have so much in common. But I believe at this time too we have a responsibility to begin to address the challenges of our people regards job employment for our teeming youth and reposition the African continent. And I believe that we need to do that for us to be able to sit down and address particularly the issue of trade and the issue of economic empowerment for our people.
Abubakar Bukola Saraki there, he's the president of the Nigerian Senate. The Vice President, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, on his part, reaffirmed government's commitment to move the country's economy beyond aid. This, he explained, can be done when countries on the continent begin to trade internally.
It's really an honor to have this powerful delegation here. I think we should find ways to deepen that cooperation. Our paths to economic development are relatively similar. We all have quite significant endowments of natural resources and all of that. But we are all also of the view that we have to move our economies beyond dependency. And I think that when we look at Nigeria, that is the path that you are moving. You are trying to build an economy that is very, very independent. And so we talk about moving Ghana beyond aid and moving Africa beyond aid. And I think this is where we have to do. So the more we can really trade amongst ourselves and invest with each other, the better it is for our peoples. And we want to really learn from each other. And I think that the more we can do that, the better it is for our respective economies.
Still watching Joining Us today, I am Daniel Daza. Now imagine buying a wedding gown for your girlfriend who just died and putting a ring on her finger as if the person were alive. To put it bluntly, you must marry a dead woman because you failed to perform the marriage rites of the woman when she was alive. That's the situation many young men in the central region and some parts of the country are faced with. It's a tradition that makes you say, I do, even when the person you're wedding is lying lifeless. On Joining Us Agenda today, Richard Kojonyako examines some cultural practices many deem outdated and must be changed.
Weddings are great occasions. They excite the participants. Fast forward to funerals. They sadden the hearts, make people weep, cry, sob or wail. But there are occasions in the life of some men in the central region and some parts of Ghana who are made to wed the dead before the women are buried. It is a cocktail of emotions and many have gone this way. We were living together as husband and wife, but had not performed the customary marriage rites. She got pregnant, and so we decided that after delivery, we will go and see the family and do the needful. Unfortunately, she died.
Nanzama or Sade, where they may be seen as an original amateur, Mum to two.
Kwesi Bequin, as I've chosen to call him, had the unpleasant experience of combining both a wedding and a funeral on the same day. He had to sew 2 wedding gowns, buy 2 rings, and provide all things necessary for a wedding ceremony. He had to face the age-old culture of marrying the dead person. In simple terms, he was made to perform the rite he should have performed when the lady was alive. She was dressed with her wedding gown. I wasn't in suit. I was in my morning cloth until they were done with the ceremony. Kwesi recounts the heartbreaking moments when he had to lift the hand of the dead woman and put the ring around her finger. Auntie for Aishitu did not go through such an experience. Her son did. Her son, like Kwesi Bequin, had to put 2 rings on the finger of the dead woman he once lived with. The anguish in her voice could be felt from a distance. He made us wed her while she was leaving the estate. We put rings on her finger, presented some money. It is a wish that such a practice is abolished, and a different measure is adopted to deal with situations such as these. The 2 people loved each other. Many marriages these days have become expensive. They scare men and women, and that is why many of these things are happening. Reverend Samuel Parkisi is an associate pastor of the Assemblies of God Church in Cape Coast. He says in as much as he believes the practice is abhorrent, young men and women have to respect the institution of marriage and play by the rules.
The family of the late woman coming in was something like this as a form of punishment. To some extent, yes, they may be right, but then it may be too much as well. Because at the end of the day, as the popular saying goes, it takes 2 to tango. So the question is, why should a woman allow herself staying with a man for years when she knows that the necessary customary rite has not been performed? Therefore, that kind of union is illegal. And as a woman, if you want to respect your own dignity, why do you allow yourself so?
For Amos Dakwasari of the Department of Music at the University of Cape Coast, the practice is simply outdated and should be revised. He rather wants families whose daughters go into such relationship to be proactive in dealing with the situation before the inevitable happens.
If these things happen and you sit unconcerned and you don't raise issues about it, and now the person dies and you want to take the person or two, where the dead body, for me, it doesn't really make sense. I think what we should begin to think about is how to take care of the children that are, left behind, and not the dead is dead.
Well, until situations change and many men decide to perform the necessary customary rites, the practice of wedding the dead will continue to be a part of us. Richard Kwejenyakon for Joy News Agenda, Cape Coast.
Now, this week's Joy News Agenda, we are looking at what makes us uniquely Ghanaian as part of our celebrations of the 61st anniversary of Ghana as a nation. And of course, the highlight of the celebration will be tomorrow, the 6th of March, where a march past will be held at Independence Square, Accra. Our Hanodami is currently at Independence Square to observe the preparations for tomorrow's ceremony. Hannah, if you can hear me, what is the latest you can report from there? Are preparations underway?
Hello, Daniel. Lots of activities are ongoing here at the Independence Square. You can see that a van just came in, and that's the van for the Zoom Lion. They are collecting all the rubbish that's been piled up here because officials of Zoom Lion personnel are all here clearing and cleaning the floors. They are cleaning all the seats draped in red, gold, and green. You can see that there's also another van here, and they are the event and decoration service that has been asked to come and decorate all the podium, the stages. If you look behind me, you can see a huge stage that has the tent, the cover of this canopy, the roofing, colored in red, gold, and green. Now, that particular stage will take 700 people. 700 people will sit there. Another one will be constructed here on my left soon. That will also sit about 700 people. So in all, we're going to have about 1,400 dignitaries made up of members of the diplomatic corps, MPs, and other state officials, all seated here. Look up there, the Independence Arch, and you will see that decorations of all the furniture are being done. They are all colored in white. You can see up above there the kente, the famous kente of Ghana is also being used to decorate beneath the writing Black Star Square. Lots of activities. You see the van of the fire service helping. You can see that the chairs also are being cleaned. I have seen the police van here. I have seen that lots of the Ghana flag is being hoisted all over. Now, outside, immediately outside the premise of the Independence Square, we can look back if we can. Is a huge billboard that mounts. We have the picture of the Big Six with the president also waving, and you can see that the president is waving. Happily waving there. And so a lot of activities are ongoing here, all in preparation for Ghana's 61st anniversary tomorrow, where the president will be talking about the theme, which is Ghana Beyond Aid. And we have been told, we haven't had any official communication here on the ground, but we have been told that the guest of honor will be President Buhari from Nigeria. Daniel, you wanted to say something?
Right, Hannah, I was just telling you with that, and thank you very much for that report. We'll be unable to continue with you. Hannah Odami is my colleague in the newsroom, reporting there live from the Independence Square, Accra. Of course, that ceremony will be live on your Joy News channel tomorrow. Stay tuned for that. It's time for business with Emmanuel Abajuri Afi. Stay with us.